there's a button, it'll go red, and that means it's on and we're being recorded.
Okay.
All right, good to go? All right, it is 7 o'clock. I put an echo in here. I'd like to call to order a regular meeting of the Brookfield Inland Wetlands Commission. Today is Monday, the 22nd of April, 2024. I make note it is Earth Day. My name is Sharon Fox. I act as chair of the commission. To my left is Mr. Michael Newstat, who is the vice chairman, and to my far left, we welcome Mr. Tom Keller, who is joining us as a regular member. So again, we're very glad to have you here, Tom. So we have a quorum, so all three of us will be voting members tonight. Further down, we have our recording secretary, Cassandra Varian, and on my far right down here, we have Ms. Laura Barkowski, who is the town's Inland Wetlands Enforcement Officer. So with that, let's start with the Inland Wetlands Officer's report. So the first we have is 731 Federal Road. I think I know you were going to try and get out there with those guys, right?
I did get out there with them. We did walk the site. We did have a few, but then Cynthia's report also came out.
I saw that.
There were some concerns, so I actually went out to the site again
Yeah.
today. They have to fix some of their erosion sedimentation control measures before I even suggest ending.
Yeah, all I can see is sort of like on the southwesterly side, there's that huge pile of dirt. And that's that drainage area, and I think they've got a little bit of a berm or something like that. That's one that I saw wasn't completely permanently done.
That's one, and then just due to the rain and the hillside closest to the road, we're having some runoff there that's causing the site to be a little bit silty a little bit. So they have some work to do before
Okay, all right, so we will have Cynthia continue that for us.
Yes.
All right, so that's that one, 100 Candlewood Lake Road, within the school.
No CO, no CO until you sign
No CO till we get done as planned, or we had to make a modification. Okay, 23 Grace Bridge Road, I see there's been some conversations on that.
There have been some conversations on that.
We were laughing, just before you got here.
Yes, it's an interesting, because the land that is adjacent, which is town of Brookfield lands to the Still River, I'm speaking with legal actually about it, just to make sure I have 100%.
Okay, I think I know what the answer is.
I do too.
But we will wait for attorney review.
Thank you.
So Tom, these are, just to give you a heads up, a number of the projects, after we approve them, they're sort of in very, either they're along the Still River, or there's a lot of wetlands, or as a part of the construction process, we want to make sure that the sedimentation and erosion controls work. And so we have, these are the active sites in town. Some of them the applicant, you probably read, the applicant can pay for a third party to do the reviews, so the town doesn't have to do it. So that's what's going on 731. And then Grays Bridge is they self-report because they had a problem in the beginning. And so now that they had a problem in the beginning, they didn't fix it. Now they tell us what's going on. So that is the quick update on that. And then 58 Old Grays Bridge Road update.
That was one that I believe we were just leaving on the agenda.
Oh, right. We're just leaving. Right. Yeah, that's right. Yep. Okay, so that one, I hope that gets solved. We're going to come up with a. Hey guys, can you help us? If you want to have a conversation, terrific. Just have it out in the hall, okay? We're going to have to think about what we're going to do here, because I'm worried about, I can't remember exactly when this thing times out.
It still has some time, and thanks
Does
to
it?
It does. And
Okay.
Thanks to COVID, things got extended even
All right.
longer. They passed new statutes.
Okay.
But I can definitely try
Maybe
to provide
in
the
your
date.
spare
Yep.
time, in your spare time, let's put a, let's put a, because then they can even extend it, as I recall, but we should not lose track of that, because they gotta ask for the extension. So the plan,
I'll put the expiration date.
expiration date, I knew it wasn't termination. Okay. Okay, so so anything else that you have for us on any active sites, anybody? Okay. On to enforcement, 35 Merwin Brook. I think we are waiting for those trees to get planted by the end of June. 11A Crossroad. Is anybody here for 11A Crossroad? I'm trying to remember, where did we leave this one? I know we got, do you remember?
Yeah, I do. I actually sent an email to them after our last meeting because they were not at the last meeting.
Right.
They were supposed to come up with a remediation plan.
Right.
There was no response to my email on 4/9. I emailed their attorney. This was the, I believe, Michael Cruz attorney.
Oh, right.
Saying that
This
he
is,
was gonna come in with a remediation plan.
yep.
I did send him an email after our last meeting. I haven't heard back from him. I haven't heard from the property owner.
Well, that is very unfortunate.
Yes.
Because we haven't heard from them. I think we asked them to give us an update. It was, I think didn't we ask for an update here on this month?
Nothing since March.
Do you remember, Michael? I mean, we could go back into the minutes. I mean, I'm thinking about what we're gonna do to move to the next step of enforcement, which is fines.
Which would be a citation.
Yeah, a citation and fines.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I don't wanna go there, but we have to have compliance, and they had to talk to us.
Do you, I mean, I could always write them one more letter saying, you are under violation, you have not submitted anything, citations will commence on, May, your next meeting, I believe, is May 11th? May 8th?
I don't know how Michael and
May 13th, okay.
Tom, how you feel about all of this. It's the 13th.
Or send them, I could always.
Yeah, because I think we had asked them, I think they owe us, what their plan is for getting the lot flagged,
Yes.
right? And then the actual, getting on the map where the trees that they took down, where they were, and then the caliper. So I think that doesn't sound.
They came in with their presentation with that attorney that one day, and
Right.
I haven't heard from anyone since then. And I have reached out to them once.
When did you reach out to the attorney? Do you recall?
April 9th.
I'm of the opinion not to give them any more time. I mean, we call them. You can't call them and write them all the time. I don't know, Michael. I mean,
What did they say in their last email to us back in March? That they were going to do something?
Yeah, they had to
were
get their,
hiring a
yeah, we
professional.
got a couple of them.
And then their professional came and spoke to you directly.
Yeah, okay. So there's no question that they're aware of what they had to do.
I believe the attorney was even translating that night for them, so I believe this was a case where there might have been a little bit of language barrier.
Yeah, I mean, I think, were they here on the 8th?
I don't believe, no, they were not.
They
here
were
on
not.
the 8th.
That's what your last letter says.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I said,
So
we
were
can
they
only,
issued a violation?
we can write and call and write and call. I don't think we need to continue to write and call. So I'm of the opinion that we move to the, move to the next step of enforcement which is a citation. And what we're gonna ask them is to provide, the citation is going to be for, well, the citation is just gonna be for the violation. The citation is just gonna be the Hello. What's your property again?
No, pardon?
84.
You're 84, so
84,
sorry.
okay, sorry.
Just wanted to check,
I
sorry.
wanted to check. And then, like I said, it's not the most grievous problem. So I'm trying to come up with what the fine is gonna be, and I'm going between $100 and $250 a day.
So the next step,
It's a citation and
Yeah.
fines. I mean, we haven't heard from them. We haven't heard from them. All we
No.
asked them to do was to get,
Information.
get the wetlands flagged
Yeah.
and get a map and show where the trees were, and that was 6 weeks ago. And we haven't heard from them. So we don't even know where they are in the process. We don't know if they've contracted with someone and whoever they contracted with can't get there until May. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen, but we don't know. Right now, as far as we're concerned, they're not doing anything.
well,
They haven't been responsive to me as far as, and when they have legal representation, I would assume an attorney would respond to me.
I would
either to
think
say
so.
He doesn't represent them anymore, or
All right. So that's what I'm thinking. Whether it's $100 or $250 a day. I think 35 Merwin Brook, it was 250 we were talking
I
about.
think that was 250.
Yeah, I mean, our max is 1,000.
Correct.
But it's not, like I said, it's not like they're, driving tractors through wetlands and filling them with, gravel. It's just they've taken some trees down in the wetlands and they've taken them down in the upland review area. So, I want to be consistent. So I'm thinking 250, which is consistent with 35 Merwin Brook. At least that's my opinion.
can we make it start, not
starts-
immediately on the date of the citation, but
Well, it starts 3 days after after 3 days after you assume receipt, right? That's prescribed.
okay, we can't give them a little more time and say, as of such and such a date.
It's been 6 weeks since we've heard
Yeah.
from them. We haven't heard from them.
That's true. Well, I think a citation will get their attention, and
That's all I want.
it's easy enough for them to have it removed.
It is.
If it says that, then, this is it. We haven't heard from you. You're being cited for this, and this.
Well, the citation is the
Yeah.
removal of the trees in the wetlands in
Yeah.
the upland review area without
Mhm.
a permit.
Yeah.
Tom, questions about where we are?
No, I was following along. I understand your thinking on that as far as giving them time to react. Because 3 days, I mean, it's sometimes tough to react in 3 days, but like you said, it's been 6 weeks.
It's
Yeah.
been 6 weeks since we've heard from them, and they don't answer our calls.
Well, I haven't called them.
Or you wrote them.
I write them.
Yeah, which is better, yeah. All right, well then, I'll make a motion to issue a citation at 11A Cross, to move to the next step of enforcement, which is to issue a citation for 11A Cross Road and establish fines of $250 a day.
I will
So you
second
wanna
that.
Okay, so then just a matter of discussion. So Tom, you are welcome. You can vote yes, you can vote no, you can abstain. You can do whichever you want. We can handle any of those.
Yep.
Okay? All right, any other discussion on the motion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye? Aye?
Aye.
Okay, so any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. So all they gotta do is talk to us. And tell us how it's going. And then we can make better decisions. On what the next step is, because we made a good decision on the citation. Okey doke, 499 Federal Road.
I am not seeing anyone here for it.
Is anybody
I
here?
thought that a mitigation plan was going to be presented today.
Yeah, we need
I had an email saying that, from Mr. Sherwood, I believe was their professional,
Let me get the file here.
apologizing for not going to the last meeting, and I thought that they were going to come today.
499 Federal Road. Okay, so the last we have is Tuesday. What is this? Something got returned?
That's the original violation.
Oh, the original.
They didn't grab the, yes. It's
Okay.
not uncommon that the certified
All
comes
right,
back and
so the
claims.
last thing we have from them is also from Tuesday the 9th. That was a busy day.
Yes.
499 Federal Road. Says, Laura, I apologize, that was my fault. I'm working on a plan and will submit something end of the week. So, and that's in response to your note to him, saying that the commission was disappointed that no one was in attendance to explain to us what's going on here. All right. And we don't have any other emails from them. All right, well, I think we've got the same situation as we do on the other one.
I was surprised because they responded to me when I wrote that last follow-up, and I thought that they were going to come today and to explain their mediation plan.
No, hang on here.
I
What,
believe they submitted documentation.
what, we have documentation, but we don't have a plan, right? I've
Right.
got this, something from Sherwood here. What is this?
Which is the individual who was responsible for putting together the plan, but I thought there was going to be an associated presentation, so I'm a little confused on this one.
Okay, so do we have an application?
No,
So all we have is a plan.
all we have is a plan at the moment.
Well, when we have a plan, we don't know if it's,
Unless you want, this one I'm a little, like, concerned, I just don't want anything to get lost. I did speak with this gentleman, and we do have a plan. I don't think he's ready for citations, I believe he is working with us.
Okay, well-
An email didn't get slipped through the cracks there.
we do have some, okay, so we do have something from Sherwood here, and it says, River's Edge, proposed low depression to mitigate runoff of front parking, so they are talking about, a little stormwater management, which I think will be helpful, although I have no idea if that's adequate or not. And I was thinking maybe along the whole area. Area thinned and tree removal disturbance. Piles of logs, debris to be removed, area to be seeded. A mix that they're gonna put in 6 maples. And this looks like 6 bushes. I don't, liquid ambar, strepsilla, I don't, and yeah, 6 maples, 6 oaks, and I don't know what a liquid ambar strepsilla is, but Michael's going to in 1 second.
We're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out.
What is it, a liquid?
Liquid ambar,
U,
B-A-R,
liquid, AMBAR,
A-M-B-A-R, S-T, space, S-T-Y-R-A,
space,
S-T-Y-R-A-C,
STYRAC,
A-C-I.
amber liquid, straflua?
Yeah, a sweet gum. Oh,
Yeah,
oh, that's.
sorry, that went
oh,
away
that's
real
just a tree.
quickly.
So they're
but-
talking about putting in 18 trees.
Yeah. Slender silhouette sweet gum, also known as. Tall and skinny.
Okay, so I think you're right. This one, we have a plan, what we don't have is the application.
Correct. I think there might have been confusion on this one, that they were supposed to present today.
Okay.
And when they didn't get their application in, maybe there was,
Okay, so how about this? Can you have someone follow up with them and say, thank you for the plan, but we need an application, and there's checks with that, of
Okay.
course. And then, I don't know how to figure out if this is, I mean, this is better than what they have. There's something there. I mean, I wonder if that's a, ask them on the plan, we, this has got a scale, does this have a scale?
I was just gonna say, does it show any kind of distance
The
on there?
scale is no, yeah, I don't see any real dimensions on this. I don't, was looking, it says scale says as noted, so I don't know what that means. Trees. Except I don't see a scale. Scale says as noted. I don't see like 1 inch to 20, maybe it's here, but I'm not seeing it. Oh, here we go, that's on here. Sweet gum. Thank you for looking it up. Oh, and they got 5 service berries and some switchgrass, okay. Ask them, tell them the plan, you know, the plan, we appreciate the plan, ask them for the dimensions, you know, and we can get that in the application, you know, but tell them we'd like to have a better understanding of the dimensions of these low depressions, you know, length, width, and depth.
There are a couple of measurements, but not enough. 62 feet 2,
Yeah,
but that's lot line dimensions, nothing to do with the wetlands.
yeah, and then some under, you know, and then their explanation as to how they sized it down. And we'll see what that is.
It's interesting,
Okay.
based on our earlier conversation, they're giving the distance from the building to the center of the river.
Yeah, well, this one says the property line is the center of the Still River, this one.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true in all cases, but this one, that's what they're saying.
Do they have any topography marks on that, or
What's that?
do they have any topography marks on that?
No, no topos on that. But I've been out there, it's pretty flat, it's
It's
a
pretty
very
flat.
gentle.
Right.
Yeah, you know where it is, it's the, you know, it's on Federal Road, you know, I think they call this the White
The
House.
White
The
House.
White
Oh,
House.
okay.
White House, yeah.
Yeah,
the-
there is a road to the back, parking lot, if you go back there, you'll see it's just a very gentle slide into the Still River. Okay, well then, if you would, if everyone's okay with that,
Yeah,
contact them, let's get an application, let's get the fees, and then ask for dimensions. So we very much appreciate that little stormwater management aspect. Can they give us the dimensions? And can they give us, how did they come to those dimensions? Okay? All right, so that's
excuse me.
that one. Okay, good, we made it to the second page here. Now, 2A Crossroad.
So they have till the end of May.
Right, they got till the end of May, okay, thank you. 84 Laurel Hill, okay. Tell us, why don't you come on up, or you stay there, you're fine,
Or
you're fine to
you're-
stay
you're-
there.
Pull a chair
Yeah,
over.
but we'll get your name to Laura again, please.
Sorry.
That last name.
Okay, so tell us what's going on.
So, unfortunately, I thought it's going to be easy for me, to go out and find,
A wetland soil scientist?
Yeah, exactly. But
Yep,
it
okay,
wasn't. It was a challenge.
okay,
And I only find, and got response from JMM
okay,
on Newtown.
yep,
They sent me the proposal and I accepted it, but unfortunately, all this week they went out.
okay,
So they are coming on April 25th.
terrific,
Yes, so that's where I'm at now.
Okay.
So they're gonna come and, I have to contact him, they obviously will see that I approve for the proposal.
yep,
And then they will let me know what they're gonna show up to the property and see them.
okay, terrific,
So,
all right,
that's it.
terrific. Good, that's all good. We knew you wouldn't, it's not like you make a call and you get them the next day. That doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I thought first time, sorry.
Yeah,
First time.
so we appreciate that. Again, we appreciate you keeping us up to date and informed, on the progress. That sounds terribly reasonable.
Thank you.
Let us know how it's Jim, I think it's Jim McManus.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
We're gonna be here, you said he's gonna come out on the 25th of
On the
April-ish?
25th,
So
yes.
he'll need a couple of days to write it up, for sure. So,
He's
Give us
coming
an
back on the 25th, right?
Yeah, he's coming back.
on vacation right now, he's
Oh,
going to come
sorry.
back on the
Yeah.
25th.
oh, he's coming
so
back
he
on the
can't get
25th,
to
all
you.
right, so when he comes back on the 25th, then you'll get a date as to when he can
Exactly,
come
when
out,
he's-
okay.
when they're gonna come out.
all right, okay. Well, give us an update, we're gonna be here on the 13th.
Okay.
So give us an update, you know, say, send us an email. Can you send us an yeah, send us an email like by May 8th?
Okay. So the next
And
one
let
is
us know when he's gonna get out there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I will do that. The next meeting is at 9.
We're gonna be here the 13th.
On the 13th.
But if you get us an email by the 8th, if you get us an email on the 8th, then it gets nicely into that little blue folder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then we can have, then you can
If you wait
present
till the
something.
morning, it doesn't get
Yeah.
into the blue folder.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and then you can present your plan by then.
Okay.
So, no,
That'd
we're
be
not
nice.
expecting a plan. What would be grand, you know, is, again, I don't know, what we're looking for, and Jim will help you with that. We're looking for a map of your property,
Mhm.
and where Jim is gonna tell you where the wetlands soils are. And then once we have that, then we'll know better what the correct restoration plan's gonna be.
Okay. Yeah, because he asked me for the plan that I show you, so I did send it that one to him.
Okay, good. Yeah, he'll mark it out. He's gonna come out and dig some holes, and then he will put some flags in, probably put some flags on the property, and which you wanna leave there
Right.
until this is all done. So whatever he puts on the property, leave,
Okay.
and then he'll help you get that onto the plan.
Okay.
And then when you get that, then we'll be able to go to the next step, which is an application as to what we need to do to fix the problem and get it back
Awesome.
mostly to where it was.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
like I said, the only reason that I took those trees down,
Yeah.
because they were ugly at the first, and they had all these bends on it.
Yeah, no, we
Like I
get
said, I
that.
have my child's on it, and I was like, to be honest, I'm gonna ask you to see what kind of plants I can plant there, because I'm going to put trees there.
I'm sure you are, I said,
Yeah, I'm going to put another trees because I love natural. So
yeah.
yeah.
Well, the good news is when Jim flags the wetlands, you're going to know what kinds of trees can go where. Cause like certain trees, they need their roots to be dry,
I see.
and some trees prefer their roots wet. So if you plant a tree that needs dry roots in wet soil, the tree's not gonna make it.
Understand.
So that's gonna be the nice advantage to you. You'll know right where the wetland soils are, and that's gonna help you and us figure out what type of trees need to go where.
Okay. And then besides that, I know I know the location where I took the trees down. And I have some soil on the top of it.
Uh-huh.
You know, on the side of my property.
Okay.
It's looking now horrible. I know that you told me to not do anything, so I've been holding on that. So I don't know if I can, probably spray that out a little bit or something like that.
Do we have any pictures of how big this is?
It's in the file, it's a fairly large pile of dirt.
Is that this? Is that this in the file?
It's actually, it's on your driveway, right? Do you have a picture on your phone?
I can ask for a picture.
Let me see, what do we have here? I have a lot of pictures. I don't know, I'm looking for dirt on a driveway?
I feel like it was like one of the first pictures too.
Okay, see the tree, I see all the trees down. Hopefully I'm not jumping over this. I see a bunch of trees. I see a lot of trees down. Trees, stumps, trees, stumps. That looks like a duplicate. Ah, what's this?
Pile of dirt.
Pile of dirt.
Yeah, it's there. It's
That's
Okay.
from down the hill, I think I was taking a picture.
Where'd the dirt come from? Are you planning a project or something, or where'd it come from?
yeah, no. It was a hill. Over here.
Uh-huh.
It's a hill right here.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to put this one in here and just make it flat at that. There it is.
Okay, so, let's look at, we
Right
have-
here.
We will be
It's
filling
right
in
there.
that deleted area.
Okay, yeah, I see that. Let's take a look at what we have. Okay, so here's your home, right? Where's the dirt?
It's right here.
The dirt's here?
Right.
You got dirt here, so, I hate to write on this. You got dirt here, and what do you wanna do with it? Run it this way?
I'm just wanna spray it. That's all. And I mean, I have a couple boulders that I was trying to, put it somewhere in here, make it look nice.
Okay, here's the challenge I have. I can't have you spread it. This is, again, just a general line. If the wetlands are actually here, this is what I don't know. I don't know I don't know exactly where the wetlands are.
Oh, okay.
I mean, where this looks,
All this right here is ledge.
okay, so this is looking here. Oh, there is a lot of dirt. And rocks.
Yeah, I was trying to make it look nicer with the stone. I mean, with the stone because I used to have the white stone that I get rid of it.
Okay.
Maybe we want to incorporate it into his remediation plan.
Yeah,
Should we have it marked?
Yeah, here's the problem I have. I understand it's a messy mess. I get that.
Yeah.
But we can't take the chance of it. If the wetland soils are up in here, we can't take the chance of filling them,
Got it.
okay?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, that's the nice thing about, I said, when you get the area flagged, we'll be able to know where the wetlands are. I mean, in general, pushing the dirt, on the upland review area is not gonna be a problem at all.
Right.
But I can't, without knowing exactly where the wetlands are, I can't really say, go do things.
True.
All right, that's my problem. I don't know how you guys feel.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we
mean, I
need-
see it's a big eyesore, I get that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's there now.
Okay, well, let's do this. Again, it looks like you're gonna have to wait and just deal with it for a little
Okay,
bit.
no
Let's get the wetlands flagged, and then when we do the remediation plan, we can include what you wanna do with the dirt and rocks. You wanna keep the rocks or make something with them?
I mean, the rocks I'm gonna be using, to do a couple of decorative. So
Yeah, well,
inside.
we'll get that on the plan, and then we'll take care of everything all at once, okay?
Okay, cool.
All right, so
Can I do anything in front of my property?
you should be able to do some stuff to the front of the house. Okay, what are you thinking of doing?
Oh, that rocks put in here, and then,
You wanna move the rocks to the front of the house? You wanna take this rock pile, these guys, and put them in the front, over in here?
Yeah, I'm planning to do a lot of things with the rocks, but I'm trying to put a couple rocks in here too. I already have a ledge in here, so like I said, all this right here, and even right here, it's all ledge. It's a white
Okay.
rock. I think you can see a better picture right there. It's all hell. All this right here is ledge. My garage is on the ledge, and there's a.
It's really tough for us to sort of take your pictures and sort of
Right.
mentally deal with this. That's
I got you.
very challenging.
I mean, you're more than welcome if you would like to stop by one day.
I'm trying to help you with the rocks, okay? Tell me again what you wanna do. You wanna move X number of rocks up in here?
Yes,
You wanna move how many rocks? 10, 20?
I'm gonna say like 10.
You wanna move 10 rocks to the front of the property.
are they the size you can do them by hand, or do you need a
It's gonna need
little
you're gonna need
tractor
a
or
skid to do,
a
move.
skid?
These are good sized
skid
guys.
loader?
Yeah.
So you do need a machine to do
I
it.
mean, or should I just wait? Just got a day there.
But did you rent this equipment, or do you have this
Oh, no, I
equipment?
have it.
You
It's
have
on-
it,
Yeah, it's on.
okay. So you haven't rented it.
We just wanna be sure that the equipment is kept out of the wetlands.
Got it.
And without knowing where the wetlands are,
Yeah, cause is this a shed? Is this a shed here?
Yeah, and it's not mine. It's my neighbor's. I mean, he said it's his.
That's your neighbor's shed?
Yeah, it shows on.
That's
on my-
this?
It shows on my side. He said he moved it. So
Well, I have to tell you, your rock pile is over here. If this is his shed, then your rocks and dirt is not here, it's in here.
No, it is here. The
Well, is
way-
this your home? Is
no,
that,
no, it's not.
that's your neighbor's home?
Yeah, that's my neighbor's house. The way that you saw the picture. Is
So
just-
you're looking this way?
Exactly. You're looking like that.
Oh, okay, I
Yeah.
understood that to be your home,
Oh, no,
sorry.
no, that's my neighbor's. So my neighbor's home is like right in here, and then my brother's right here. That's why you saw it.
I'm having trouble trying to figure out how to really define all of this, you know?
No, I understand.
Yeah,
It's
Let's just wait at this point.
Yeah,
It's only a couple
If
weeks
you, as long
before
as
we
you
go
have the
back.
equipment, let's just wait,
I will.
okay? If
Alright,
you,
no problem.
yeah, and then we'll know where it is, and then, as Michael was saying, we have to be concerned about, you know, equipment driving through wetlands. That is
Yeah,
that's
no.
a concern, and since we don't know exactly
Mhm,
where they
yeah,
are.
It all comes down to a
Right.
plan
Okay.
that shows the location of the wetlands.
Yeah, so, we tried, but I don't think we can do it with the information we got,
No problem, no problem.
okay?
And only one other thing that I did is because it had it, it had it without grass and all that, the water was just, flying out.
Yeah.
So what I did is just put some grass here on top of it, just to prevent the.
That's fine,
He seeded it, that's fine.
that's fine. Okay, all right, so let us know,
Okay.
by, on the 8th of May, what the schedule looks like, for the what they call, it's called wetlands flagging.
Okay.
That's exactly what you're going to be engaging them for, wetlands flagging.
Okay. I don't need to get a surveyor, right?
If this is the only map you have, right, well, this is the only map we have here,
Find anything else.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it looks like they're good with that already because they
Okay.
didn't have any trouble with it.
let's try to use this map.
Okay.
If this becomes, if suddenly I'm finding stories about water courses and intermittent water courses, you may need to get a survey. We may need to be a little bit more precise. But let's see what your soil scientist comes up with. Let's try to use this map, but let's defer the decision till we
Okay.
actually know what we're looking at, okay? All right? If we can deal with this, that's okay, all right?
Okay.
Okay, but let's see what kind of wetlands you actually have, all right? So we'll defer that moment. We haven't made a decision on it, okay? All right, well, thank you again for coming, and thank you for keeping us up to date.
No
You know,
problem.
that's terribly important.
All right, thank you.
All right,
Thank
take
you.
care.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Take care. All righty, next, 4 Hidden Brook Drive. Is anybody here?
Yes.
Okay, great. We'll get your names and addresses over.
I'm Arthur Solage,
We brought,
representing my brother Arjun. His English is not the best, so he asked me to speak for him.
somebody's my English is not the best.
How do you, spell your last name?
C-E-L-A-J is mine, and this is C-E-L-A actually.
Okay, let me just refresh my memory on, can you help me refresh my memory on this
Sure.
one?
This was a complaint that was received, went out to the property, and it seems that based off of our wetlands map, there was a pond that once was, and now there is no more, so they filled in a pond. It's this particular violation. So, I don't know if it's easier to.
Okay, that's what we think. What can you guys add to that?
Where was that pond? Based on the
It's on-
property.
it's on the-
Okay, let's see. We have things that the state provides, we call them like GIS maps. They're done based on aerial surveys. So let's see what we got here. All right, so I've got one GIS map. This one looks to be the same. Okay, do you recognize this area? I'll go upside down here. Okay.
Ardian. Tu não faz piada,
Okay, all right, so we've got another map. This is another map. So this one, that's just like an aerial photograph, but this one is showing what the state is telling us about wetlands, which are here. And so this is your home?
Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay.
You're looking at the wrong thing.
All right, so there's wetland, the state is saying, and these maps are only directionally correct, they're not to scale. You know, they're all based on aerial, as I said, aerial photographs. So what they're telling us is there are wetlands back here, and there's wetlands here, and is this the pond?
This is
Laura,
Cross
is this-
Road.
It's the blue.
Is this the pond?
This is the wrong file, sorry.
Okay, no wonder.
I'm here
That's
like,
why
I'm
they
like,
didn't
I'm
let
pretty
this-
sure that there's.
All right, sorry, yeah, you're right, I got the wrong one.
I was like, wait.
That's right, I'm looking at
thinking, I
Cross
can
Road
read
in
right
there. I
now.
know it's hidden brook,
You
but.
passed the test. You passed the test.
It's for Honey Brook.
All right, sorry about that, gentlemen. After the fifth one, they all kind of look the same, so, all right, but you passed the test. All right, let's start from the beginning. Okay, so I got four Hidden Brook.
That's you.
Double check.
Okay,
All right, so I got a picture of trees down. I have a picture of trees down. I have something back there, which looks like maybe it was a pond. All right.
So it's some site work, some trees that were being taken down, probably within the
Absolutely.
upland review area, but the pond being, filled was.
Okay, so this is your, it looks like your home?
Yep.
Oh,
This is the
good,
one. No,
see, all
yeah,
right, good,
we're
good,
getting
good.
familiar here.
All right, we're getting familiar. Okay, so, okay, all righty, so here we go, Hidden Brook Drive, here's the home. Help me with where the pond is or was?
Was, I forgot the easiest way to get through.
Yeah,
Can I just see the whole file? I'm sorry, I'm blind.
You're not alone on that. You should've
we got the
done
right
that.
one, so.
Not in here. Another map.
What does this map represent to you guys? That's what my brother is working on. What does that mean?
To me, I have to tell you with all the greatest respect, I don't understand that. So, I mean, I can see there's, I can see lots of colors, I don't know what the blue is. I can go with,
Tipo é Moreton?
Website da Brookfield, dit Wetlands,
okay,
é que onde laat, great.
Okay.
That's fine, that's fine.
There's the pond.
ah, okay. So this is an aerial map and there's or we have a picture that there was a pond on the, looks like the back, what did you say, the back left side of the property?
If I'm looking at it, I think that's this point right here maybe.
Yeah, it looks like it.
That's-
Yeah, pretty close.
So that's
Yeah,
looking
is
at
this,
that.
where is the road on this map?
So in here, you're absolutely correct.
Okay,
But what's not a pond, that's where he had the drains that they were coming out. It was just an erosion and the pipes were covered up completely. So he did
I'm sorry, the pipes like for the roof drains or
roof
the
drains and footing drains.
footing drains?
They're both, that's where they go.
When was
So
this
there's
home
no
built?
pond,
Do you know, when was the home built?
Delta Pass.
85.
85.
So that's where that is, in there. But again, you know, based on him, he pulled this from the website of Brookfield. I mean, he thought. he's got
This was on, this was on the Brookfield website?
Brookfield, where?
I have not seen that.
Well, how great is that we have no idea where that came from? We've never seen anything like it.
We get-
Wetlands, website, wetlandsbrookfield.com.
Okay, so anyway, that's why, I'm not sure.
Well, it
That's
may
where
have, maybe it
That's
just,
where he went and he was, just to give you an idea, basically, that what he thinks is basically there are no wetlands within the property.
Okay. I
So
mean, there,
here is what he wants to do, and I don't have a problem explaining to you.
okay,
And when it came to attention of you guys, I believe it was from a good neighbor that we have in there.
yeah,
This neighbor thinks that the stone wall is on his property.
what stone wall?
So
It was-
he have a stone wall in the front of the property, which is actually 70 feet inside of his property. But however,
Can you just help, this, what,
That's a whole civil complaint, that's outside of the
Okay.
wetlands though,
I'm
so.
just giving you how you got your thing, just so
Okay.
you know
Okay.
why we're here, that's all. I just,
Okay.
maybe you know Laura, but they don't.
okay, to be candid, it doesn't matter how we
Okay.
got here, you
That's-
know,
all right. Then
whoever
what do
is,
we-
all we are, what we're worried, what we're concerned about is that this looks like a pond. It looks like a pond on this map, and there are wetlands sort of, it looks like on the corners here. So there would be, in general, a 75-foot upland review area off these wetlands. I don't have this, I don't know if it's got a scale on it. 1 to 200, so probably, this looks like kind of in this area-ish. I'm not quite sure, but this, anything that happens within 75 feet of, what, right now, the only data we have is that there are some wetlands off your property, but close to it. And so anything that happened within 75 feet of these wetlands requires a permit from the town of Brookfield Inland Wetlands
Gotcha.
Commission.
Well,
So-
where we cut,
Okay.
what he wants to do,
Yeah,
we have some very huge trees that
Okay.
they are within, in the back area, like
Alright.
this one here, that's literally 10 feet
okay.
from it. We have plenty of dead trees
I see that,
in
there's
the
old,
back,
yeah,
that they're old as they can be,
Did they
and
come-
we wanna clean it up.
okay,
The only way for us to clean it up is to come through the front of the house. So that stone wall that we got to complain, it's in the front of the house, not on the back at all.
okay,
So we're talking about this area over here. For us to get with the machines to come back to the backyard in here, we have to open a path through this side over here in front to come to the side, which is, I think I have a picture for you guys. Yeah, so this is the area that we cut the trees in front.
okay,
So we're coming through the front of it, and that's where we took these trees, and that's where we put them for now, temporary, but we gotta come through here. We gotta take this tree, which is, again, doesn't let us come anywhere near the house, because that's within 9 feet from the house, basically. So we wanna come from here and come through the back. We do wanna take this area of dirt and fill the back of the house, the yard, which is right over here. So if you look at it, let me try to get right away from you guys. So from here to here, it's a big hole.
okay,
So we wanna take that front and basically fill the grass area that we have on the
okay,
back of it.
that,
So that's what our intent is to do. Now, there are 2 trees that we, again.
let
we
me
didn't-
try and help you a little bit here, because I don't wanna take any more of your time. If you're talking about trees that are, you know, like, very close to the house, you're
Exactly.
well out of the upland review area. You don't need to trouble us
Okay.
with any of that.
Beautiful.
What is, the only thing that we are, at least at this moment, a little concerned about is, you're saying this pond, is where the footing drains is, and you filled
Il y a un
it?
statut, ce rappelez qu'ils ont un statut.
Footing
No,
drains
that's
and
there.
roof drains?
That is there.
Un
The
statut.
pond,
That's
Il y en a
there.
deux tout
you
bas,
saying
parce
the
que la
pond's
construction,
filled, not, is,
The pipes are there.
The
That's-
pipes might be there, but there was no water and it appeared that there was fill.
so
I
how
don't
is
know
that
if
gonna
it's
work?
different.
If you filled, if your footing drains came to a depression and it was
Footing
water,
Drains, I think they go farther than this. They go right
if you
under.
filled it, it's not gonna work.
I think in here they were, where they were broken, right, Andy?
Non,
Yeah,
non.
I'm pretty sure not.
Tu janë të thyme, se tu është ato si e kena mush, se tu është,
Yeah, okay.
se tu, kurse këtu janë tubat, janë ma poshtë. Tubata janë aty.
Again, he thinks that that's the end of the pipes,
So
that-
even
so
if it
this
was
was
the end
it-
of the
Pipes.
pipes, with the way the season has been so wet, people are complaining about water not being, if you, that was where your drains were coming out, you would have either A, had to fill it, or B, that there's something wrong with your drains.
You're
Because
kidding.
there's no way it would have dried up to the point where I saw it.
Right.
The drains up here, maybe where you thinking, that's where they were clogged.
Do you have a
Det
plan?
kom
Do you-
tuben.
do you guys,
Pumpen.
can you ask it's your brother, right? Do you have, when the house was built in 1985, which was a long time ago, were those, do you know, were those footing drains put in at the time? Were they put in 1985?
Oh, I'm pretty sure, because again, you gonna see, if he would've ran new drains, you would see where he ran into
I don't believe there were new drains run, I absolutely agree with that,
Right.
at least as
So-
far as,
Those
Since
are
I've
the
been
old
out
drains for sure.
Okay.
Har oj,
Deb, yeah,
innan
just-
pump.
okay, one-
Sen sätter eller sätter hon på.
Okay.
Okay, so, yeah, so this is a part of the original plan, and this
Mhm.
does not show footing drains, as it probably wouldn't. I mean, it could, but it doesn't.
It doesn't, I don't think so either. I don't think they have anything.
Okay, so
If,
what?
if that was the end of the footing drains, where do they go to now that that
Yeah.
area dried up?
Still, no, they're there, I don't think that area dried up.
So, but I just heard that they got filled, this depression got filled. So this is what's
There was
puzzling.
one area, again, over here,
Uh-huh,
that the pipes were clogged up, completely broken. So the water was coming in.
what
and
water,
then-
what do you mean when water was coming in?
So when you clog the water drains, the footing drains, the
Yeah.
water backs into the house.
Wait,
So he
wait,
got
wait, wait,
water
wait.
back into the house, and then he traced back from the end of the pipes basically to see where they're clogged. And that's where they were clogged. Now, I don't know exactly if it's here or here.
Okay, there-
That's where he digged that hole, he's saying, and then he fixed those pipes.
So to
They
fix
can't,
the
let
pipe-
me tell you, if
pipe,
it's a
they're fixed.
depression for a footing drain, there's not, that water's gonna go someplace else. It's not gonna back up in the house unless it's wet there, unless there's water there.
Hold on.
And you've gotta,
Let me understand that one more time. Can you repeat that, please?
I don't understand, if this is just a depression for footing drains, that should just,
And gutters. yes.
gutter drains,
Yes,
whatever,
yes.
so home drains, let me try and simplify that. That'll just drain, that should not be standing water that then backs up into the house.
No, what we're saying is. if
Or
those
around the-
pipes-
around the
if those
property.
Pipes are broken.
Yeah,
And clogged,
yeah,
then the water doesn't come down to the bottom, but then it backs into the house.
ah,
You see what
from the
I'm saying?
clog.
Depending on what the
It's
pitch
It's
is
from
on
the
the pipe.
clog,
So the-
not from the,
Yeah,
from
so
the
the pipe is
clog.
clogged. Now have you cleaned it out?
Yes.
Now it's working?
Yes.
Okay, so water is coming out now
Into
and
this.
into this pond thing.
Well, I don't know
Well,
if
we
it's a
don't-
pond.
We
Yeah.
don't know if it's a pond.
The
So, do
depression.
we have a picture of what this looks like? I see a whole bunch of trees down here, and,
I wasn't sure, and I didn't take any pictures on that area. I'm thinking more of the trees that we're talking about on this area.
nope, that's not a wetlands violation, so I
Yeah,
didn't
so I
touch
don't-
those at all.
Yeah, I don't, but, we don't mind, again, taking some pictures on that area, showing you next meeting and here again where they are.
can you take some pictures of the pond and, or the area, sorry, we're calling it a pond, you're calling it a depression for the footing drains and the gutter drains, the drains for the house, I got them both.
They add up
Take-
when they back into the house.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, for sure. Take some pictures of that particular area for us and show you got one pipe or two pipes coming in?
There are two pipes.
Two pipes.
Yeah,
Two
two,
pipes?
There are
Yeah.
two.
Let's see, shoot us a picture of that area and show us where those pipes come into this area. Cause I'm having a tough time,
Visualizing where it
well,
is.
no, I'm having a tough time really understanding, how can there be a little pond here?
To show up on the GIS as a pond, now you're telling me it's just a depression for footing gene. That's not taken off of one picture either, there's multiple GIS pictures
Yeah,
too.
I tried to get a map, I like Google Map, and I couldn't see it, it's very
It's
woodsy.
wooded.
It's wooded, so I
I know,
can't
I looked
see.
on it as well.
So do that for us,
Yeah, we
okay?
can do
Take
that
us,
and we'll bring it
go
next
take
time.
some pictures, east, west, north, and south, a north view, a south view, a west view, and, all four areas. And let's see if we can bring some clarity, because I don't really understand with all of these pictures, your great conversation, this, I'm not really understanding what this is. I said, I know on these GIS maps, they're directionally correct. And if they're showing what looks like a pond, I'm kind of leaning that way. But, so that's why I want to see some more of what you're actually on the ground have.
Especially being the amount of rain we've had lately.
Yeah.
The past year has been
I mean,
over the top on
I
rain.
have these too. I have footing drains and they just go. The water just goes. It doesn't sit. It doesn't sit.
It's showing up on GIS as a pond,
Yeah.
and the neighbor was saying it was a pond.
So if it was a pond
On this side?
and they've filled it, if we see where these pipes are, maybe we can bring some clarity to what is not clear to me.
All right,
Okay.
well, we'll take some pictures.
Take some pictures,
We'll come next time.
if you would. Yeah, we're gonna be here on May 8th,
May 13th.
May
So,
13th, May 13th.
again, he's all right with cutting the ones that we're talking about next to the house, so we don't have
As long
anything.
as they're outside of the upland review area,
Look,
that's.
we, from what do we see, again, we
No,
have
here.
no wetlands up
You
in
do
our
have
property.
wetlands on your property, so that, I don't know where that map came from, so we
Are
can.
they in the back or in the side?
So she can actually show you the map that we have for wetlands, and I'd be happy to provide you a GIS map.
Because in the back of the house, we actually have a swing set from the neighbor.
Where's
The
the
neighbor,
GIS
like
map?
I said, the neighbor concern is, I'm.
No, I'm just saying that I don't see the wetlands in the back over there. That's why I'm just
So
trying
You
to.
can't see them.
Connecticut or
You-
we
You're
saw
you're
it
not,
with
visualize
you
it,
can't,
that's all.
here's the thing, you can't always see wetlands. Connecticut defines wetlands by soil types,
So that's-
not by whether there's water or not. So even standing water may or may not be wetlands. So, so the visuals can be a big help, but
Yeah,
they
so-
are imprecise.
So Laura, I mean, I don't mind, this is where we
Oh,
wanna
here,
go.
so, yeah, so here. These are, I am, on this GIS map, Laura, the wetlands, except for this little blue dot here, which looks like a pond, but they're saying it's not. The wetlands just grazes the back of their
Correct.
property. So here's what you can do. Do you know where this line is on your property? Do you know where this line
I'm pretty
is?
sure we can find it, it's
Okay.
pretty simple.
Find that
measurement, yeah.
line, come this way 75 feet.
From the property line or
From the
your
property
wetland?
line, come 75 feet, because the wetland is right there.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's 75 feet, and then, yes, it's 75 feet, it mirrors that line.
I got you,
So,
Yep.
and it's wetlands right here, so you go,
right.
put a
gotcha.
little stake here,
Yeah, I think-
okay?
I think we're fine, because we're not touching anything on here.
Here's what do this for me, bear with me, and then I'm gonna let you talk. I wanna see, a marker here that's 75 feet, and 75 feet, and then this wetlands is right here, it's 75 feet here. So keep it simple, okay? You've got, it's 75 feet here, it does dip down a little bit there, but then it comes right back. So for
Gotcha.
our purposes,
75
let's
feet
keep a straight line. Mark this, put
Mhm.
an old sweatshirt on it or some kind of flag or something that marks it. You can do what you want to that side,
Gotcha.
okay? And,
No.
okay,
We're gonna find this property line, 75 feet, go across, from there up, you can cut.
you can
Anything
do,
that way,
yeah,
don't touch
and
it.
don't be driving in there don't be driving in there to skid them out, Okay.
Yeah, we have,
Yeah.
it does
Do
have-
you wanna see these lines? When you get these marked, please call Laura, come up with a time, let her come out and see where these 75-foot lines are. I'm guessing it's going to be right on this little blue dot.
I mean,
We're gonna call it a blue dot till we know what it is. Okay?
Yeah.
And get that done, have her come out and say, yep, that looks about right to me, and then you guys, so right now, don't do anything until you get that marked, she gets out there and gives you the thumbs up.
Sounds-
Then anything to that side, you're good,
All right.
okay?
Oh,
So that's homework number one, that's homework number one. Homework number two is, get me some pictures of this blue dot. This blue dot. shoot something that way, this way, don't go on your neighbor's property, right? And that way, okay?
Okay.
So give me 3, and then particularly be sure we can see those drain pipes
yeah.
and what the elevations are. I wanna make sure when you take the picture, I wanna be able to see those clearly,
Gotcha.
okay? And then then tell us what's at the bottom of this little blue dot too. You know, we'll be able to see whether it's wet or not,
Yeah.
okay?
Well,
All right.
that's what it is, we'll see what it, I'm not
Let's
sure
see.
exactly to tell you the truth, but let's take the pictures, I'll look at it. and
Yeah.
We'll come back.
Okay, that
Thank you.
sounds great.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you very
thanks.
much. Oh, boy. All righty, good.
That was,
I picked the file up and didn't look at the address. Okay, does that take care of that?
enforcement. Now we get to
Okay.
business.
You're here for what?
Oak Meadows.
Oak Meadow.
Oh, good, you're next. And Steve, what are you here for?
DPW garage,
What?
HVA.
The town?
Yes.
Ah, okay, well, let's do Oak Meadows and then we'll do you. Okay, I'm glad you came. Can you give your name and address to Cassandra, please? Yep. And then I'll make sure I get the right file this time.
Hi, I'm Richard Kalb, K-A-L-B, 14 Oak Meadows, and I'm the president of the Homeowners Association.
All right, Oak Meadows.
You should have in the file a detailed plan which identifies the wetlands and also identifies the locations of the trees that we are going to cut.
Okay.
All of the trees, in fact, are well beyond the exclusion zone.
I'm not sure about that, but,
Well, the blue line,
see, there's the wetlands, yeah.
Yep,
and
there's
then-
the wetlands.
And then there's 75
is seven-
feet.
well, it's, the scale is 1.5 inches,
Okay,
okay? That's well beyond 75 feet.
yeah, an inch is 60 feet, so.
Right.
Okay,
So
so
an
that's
inch
out,
and a
that's in
half.
the upland review area.
Yep, here's another
Now
one.
what- Let's see, so do we have any, where's our wetlands over here, anything?
No. I mean, this is all very steep.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember 'cause I've driven up in there
Yeah.
a little bit. All right, so that, I don't see any wetlands, I agree with you there. This
Right.
looks out of the upland review area, and then you've got some over here?
Over here, here, and here.
Okay, so it's out of this, now these are wetlands over here, and it looks like it's out of that.
Yep.
So that's wetlands, I know there's a lot of them on this property, and then here's wetlands over here. So I am in agreement with them that these look all out of the upland review area.
There's multiple so based off of the original plan that I received,
Yeah,
there was trees in the upland review area.
sure, there
That-
were.
That's because we didn't have this,
Mhm.
okay?
Okay,
Yep, which is
right,
fine, but
right,
that's
which
how
is
we got
fine.
here.
That's why we get this.
Yep.
Cause then
Yep.
we know.
Exactly, exactly.
Then all those discussions we had earlier
Yeah.
go quicker.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so, that's good, so yeah, so
And this is just trimming a tree, actually, okay? We're not taking that tree.
yeah, and it doesn't look like through the process of getting them out of there, you're gonna have them chipped and,
Oh, yeah, this will all be chipped and stuff like that.
Are
And
they
this
gonna-
is our clubhouse.
and they're gonna take the
and this
chips
is
with
the
them?
pool.
They're gonna take the chips with them, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
All right, cause we don't wanna hear about them dumping them in the wetlands.
right.
And we don't wanna hear about trucks staged near the wetlands, because the unfortunate part is the chippers,
Yeah.
they leak oil.
Yep, yep.
Doesn't matter how good they keep them up, they leak oil. All right, it looks like now that we have this map, you don't need us. You don't need
Okay.
our agreement.
And we had made an application as well, and we had paid the $250.
I know that because it looked, for what everybody knew, we thought they were in the upland review
Understood.
area, so I don't
Okay.
know what you can do for them. If we can do anything.
Just as long as we have this decision and we can go forward,
Yep,
keep the $250.
Well, okay.
It's not me who keeps it.
Okay. All right, so let's dispose of this one correctly. So we'll make a motion. I make a motion that, that the current plan, let's see, how are we gonna dispose of this application?
They can even withdraw their application too.
That's the cleanest way. Yeah. Would you be willing to just say, I withdraw my application?
I withdraw my application.
All right, that makes things way simpler for us.
Okay.
Okay,
I like clean.
go forth.
Well, I like the decision, though. Thank you very much.
Well, it's, again,
You
it's,
know, it took some time. I had to find that, and, you know, so.
yeah, that's what we care about. That's why I said, you know, it is a challenge sometimes. I mean, I knew there were tremendous maps, because this was a long,
It was a long plan.
this was a
yeah.
long, drawn-out process. It
Yeah.
happened right before I got on the commission.
Yeah.
But I remember how tired everybody was when they were
Thank you
done
very
with
much,
it.
everybody.
All right, guys,
All right,
good luck.
thank you.
Okay, so that's application is withdrawn. Terrific, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Steve, let's take care of yours. Let's go to, it's Old Bridge, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to go to agenda item 5A, 34 Old Bridge Road.
Oh, no, it's
Is it
Grace
Old?
Bridge.
Yeah.
It's Old Business 93.
All right, so forget that. I make a motion then to go to 4C, 93 Grays Bridge Road, stormwater enhancements. Do I have a second?
Second,
Okay,
either way.
Tom Beecha. All those
Aye.
in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Okay, let me get the folder. Steve, you can start. What is this? This thing here. We didn't, I don't think we looked at this one at all, right?
Did not, they requested an extension to this meeting, although it was received at the last one, so this will be your presentation.
Okay, make sure I got the right one. 93 Grays Bridge. Okay. Oh, I love these plans. They're nice and big, and you can read them, and they're accurate, and we know what's happening, and this is just
We try.
great. Well, then you, okay, so what should we be looking at, Steve?
Well, actually,
You got his name and address?
yeah, well, Steve Trinkus, Trinkaus, professional engineer, 114 Hunters Ridge Road in Southbury. This work was done under a grant through the Housatonic Valley Association to do stormwater retrofits. So this is the Town of Brookfield DPW garage.
Yeah.
Stormwater management is typical catch basins. They had 2 online separators with direct discharges to the river.
Yeah.
So in trying to address water quality, we'll start at the front. We dug test pits. DPW was gracious enough to dig them for me. So the half of the roof that is facing Grays Bridge Road, there will be 2 bioretention systems. This is nice sand and gravel soil.
Okay.
So that roof, we're gonna collect the roof runoff, which simply discharges onto the ground, 2 locations. To each bioretention system, the water will infiltrate. The soils were extremely suitable for that. On the north end of the site, there's a catch basin that comes down.
Yeah, so these soils are nice and suitable, and so in general, for all, because it's a pretty big building, the water's not gonna stand there.
Oh, no, it's gonna disappear. The sand
Yeah,
is
right.
very coarse.
The sand is going to
You know,
disappear,
when you have
right?
good sand, the water
The,
just
wa-
disappears.
and if they're engineered correctly and
Yeah.
designed correctly, the
They're all-
water,
They're all sized for
these,
water quality
right.
volume, with the bioretention media. So on the north.
thank you for that very expansive answer.
So on the eastern end of the site, where the main driveway comes in, there's catch basins that come down, and then they have an online hydrodynamic separator. Well, when you put a separator in an online configuration, they do have what's called an internal bypass. But what has been found by monitoring data is when you do that, the larger storm events greater than the water quality storm, which is 1 inch in 24 hours, will actually stir up the sediment that's already settled out. And it doesn't remove it as efficiently. So what we're gonna do is direct put a bypass in this catch basin, so the water quality flow, which is a flow rate associated with the water quality volumes, goes to the separator. All larger storm events then go around it to a manhole and then to a discharge point. So an online.
And this is gonna be just riprap?
Yes,
Is
this
that
is just riprap,
and then
correct.
just
Then
sheet flow
through-
to?
Through the vegetation, it's just
Okay.
densely, mostly invasive stuff, but it's there.
Yeah.
So with an online separator, it removes about 28% of total suspended solids. When we make it offline, that goes up to 75%. So it's a substantial difference. In the center of the site, again, drainage.
So Steve,
comes-
just
yeah.
on that, this is something that's been bothering us a little bit, you know, in the last like year or so, you know, things, it just seems we get rain now, you know, that we don't get 1 inch in whatever that is, the 25-year storm, we're getting like
Well,
multiple times, we're getting 5 and 6 inches.
Well, I know.
What are they
maybe
telling
about a
you
month
guys
ago-
to
well,
handle
DEP
this?
In the draft manual, which is being phased in, they use 1.3 inches of rain to calculate the water quality volume, which
Okay.
is the dirtiest water. The water quality volume is this first, what we term the first flush. The first inch, in this case 1.3 inches of rain, washes the nastiest stuff all off the pavement. After that, the runoff is really pretty clean,
Okay,
because that first flush is all the dirty stuff.
okay,
But
the
so-
dirty stuff is sitting here,
well,
right?
it will get into here, but in this catch basin,
Okay.
we have a weir that only that 1.3 inches of rain will go to this separator. A larger storm event, if you got 3 inches of rain, that remaining 1.7 inches goes around the system.
How, is this?
There's a weir, basically, in the structure. This was the catch basin.
Yeah.
Here's my pipe going to the separator.
Okay.
The other pipe that's over here, whatever my depth of flow is here, say it's 3 inches up, there's a concrete weir built in the structure, so so anything over 3 inches in height then goes over the weir into the bypass. I'll show you on the detail.
Okay,
how
good,
that
yeah,
works.
okay.
So then.
Because this is helping us in some of the, you know, these
We'll
other
have this other
conversations, yeah,
application. So,
yeah.
in the center of the site, there's a singular catch basin that, the pipe runs, going, you know, kind of northeast and then turns and goes out to a discharge point here.
Well,
We suspect there's a manhole here, but we believe it's paved over.
Okay.
Because it's just, there's a pipe here, there's a pipe going this way, and somewhere they have to meet. So, again, here, we're putting in what's called an ADS water quality unit. Again, offline, where that first 1.3 inches of rain will go this way, the larger flows will go around it and then go out to a discharge point. An ADS water quality unit is a 36-inch diameter plastic pipe.
yeah,
There is a vertical weir in the beginning of it, so sediment traps. And then towards the outlet side, there's a weir that comes down from the top to trap oils and grease.
is that this stuff?
That's this detail right here. That's the water quality unit. So they're very efficient. Again, all of these practices, when you put them in an offline configuration, have much higher pollutant removal than when you let all the storms, you know, go through it. So the water comes in, there's, there's one weir, here is, traps the sediment. So flow
Okay.
comes in, sediment gets trapped here, the water comes over the weir, and then this weir, the water surface is up high, and it forces the water here, but oils and grease trap on this water surface.
Okay,
So it removes sediment plus oils and grease.
How are the oils and grease removed at some point?
They,
Have to be
they-
cleaned out?
And, yeah, they get sucked out by, actually the DPW that uses a vacuum to clean out catch basins, they would suck that out, and it would have to be disposed of at an appropriate site.
Okay, but that
So
would need some sort
It
of.
does mean
routine
maintenance, and
maintenance.
we have maintenance specs on the plan for this.
and is
So-
this the company that makes this?
Yeah,
ADS?
ADS, yep,
Okay,
ADS does it, so,
all right.
so that's gonna treat, this area, so what we've done
So
is.
that's what they're thinking, these are
Yeah.
the kinds of things that you should be thinking about, like I said, now that we're getting these, like you said, big changes in,
Yeah, well, what we're seeing rainfall wise,
precipitation,
we're
right?
not getting, we really don't get more water, what's happening is we get more water in shorter
Shorter
periods of
periods of
time.
time.
We get short duration, high intensity rainfall events. And as an engineer, we can't model these systems, I mean, years ago I had Ridgefield wanted us to design for something larger than 100-year storm, and I said, well, you can't, because unfortunately God comes up with something bigger than that. But when you're trying to address water quality, you want that dirtiest water to get treated, the rest of the water, which is cleaner, to bypass the system. So, you know, we're treating, you know, again, this part of the roof, this part of the roof comes to these systems. So some of
Okay.
it comes to here, some of it goes over this way. This section of this site just kind of drains off. So what we're gonna do is they have some gravel area where they park some of their trucks. We're gonna do a vegetated filter strip here with a wood chip berm behind it to again filter the overland flow before it goes into the Still
Okay.
River.
So you're gonna dig a little trench here?
Well, this
you're gonna
isn't
put-
even a
or
trench,
is
it's
this gonna be
pretty
filtered?
much, it's right on grade, but you have a vegetated area, and then we have I believe it's a 3-foot wide wood chip berm.
But you're gonna put and you said
This will be
filter,
grass.
it's gonna
This
be
is-
grass, but
it's
you said you're
gonna-
gonna put like filter paper or?
Well, no, there's
Paper under?
it's vegetated, so it's topsoil
Yeah, yeah.
with grass, it's at least 3 inches high.
Okay, I thought I heard fabric, I guess.
Yeah, no, there's no filter fabric there,
Okay,
it's a
that's-
filter strip. And,
Okay.
And we're gonna use, under the topsoil, we're gonna use the bioretention media that we put in these systems to allow some infiltration to occur. And then the berm is 3 foot wide, 1 foot high, kind of in a parabolic shape, because wood chip berms will trap fine sediments and they just get caught in the wood chips. So again, we're trying to treat as much of the impervious cover that we can. And then on the kind of
And
southeastern.
so just back here, so this is gonna need, I mean, over time, like every couple years or so, they're gonna have to
They might have to
replace
clean
these,
sediment
right?
out. Yeah, you take one of the power sweepers that they use to clean the
Yeah.
sand off grass next to sidewalks, and they would do that. They'd, brush it out, and then you pick it up and, dispose of it.
Okay, and do we
Um,
have the proposed maintenance plan here
Yeah,
someplace?
there should
Steve?
be.
Okay, we'll
yeah,
take a
we
look
did
for it.
provide,
Okay, all right.
all the maintenance. So
Yep.
then, the kind of southern portion of the site, again, there's a bunch of catch basins, and again, it comes down here to an online separator similar to that one over there.
Oh,
So,
okay.
we're doing the same thing here, that, again, we're directing the water quality flow through the separator and making the bypass of larger storm events around
So
it.
this is another one of these ADS things?
Well, no, that's the same as just
Same
over
as
here,
this
it's a
guy, okay.
bypass.
All right,
And so, in this case, I mean, it's right up, the discharge is already almost at the river, so there's not much, we can really do. But also, at the edge of their gravel area, we're gonna do another one of these wood chip berms to again try to filter the, surface runoff. When we were out there, there wasn't, I don't think DPW uses much sand. Unfortunately, they use more chloride, which is
right,
a problem, because none of these systems remove chloride. That's
right.
the inherent problem with them. So, we're addressing the water quality on all of these to get the highest pollutant removals that we can.
Is this a good idea to actually have these like right at the river, or is there any advantage to
This
bringing
is-
them, or?
Actually, no, because this is a filled slope of jumbled rock and dirt.
Okay,
And if we were to discharge higher up on the slope, we'd have a bigger riprap pad, but it would likely also erode. It's a 2-to-1 to 1-to-1 slope there.
okay,
So, again, when you're doing these retrofits, you do what you can. I would have loved to have done more back here, but, the fill slope just drops right down to the river.
yeah,
So
we got
were
285,
limited. Yeah, but
284,
then-
283, it goes,
Well,
it
it's
sort
kind
of
of
goes,
going this way, there's a low
Yeah.
point here, but from this point, it drops right down to the river.
How far down is the river?
It's 6 to 7 feet below the
Okay.
top of the grade, so it's very steep in
So it
here.
didn't overflow in the last couple of
Yeah.
storms, or did it?
Yeah, they have a little bit of the gravel area is a little bit higher than, the pavement.
Mhm.
And this catch basin is a little depressed relative to that, so even water that comes down here will tend to pond and go in here. So the wood chip filter berm here was put in mainly to just treat the gravel area that's
Mhm.
beyond the treatment system.
did the guys, the town tell you, I said, cause this, the Still River has been flooding, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 7 times in the last year or so, are they, is that, do we have to worry
It
about?
wouldn't affect these are on top of the bank, and that's why we put them up here.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was
You know,
my question
so-
here as well.
Yeah, because you
Because
can
this
see
is
here, I mean, this is,
277.
this is like a good, well, the invert here is
281.
275 or 276, so you've got, a 6-foot drop, from the top of the slope to the bottom, It
And the
really-
river doesn't come up,
No, it
And
comes up
the
almost to
Still River is this dotted line, right? This
Yeah,
is
this dotted
this.
line right here
Yeah.
along the property line, yeah, that's
Okay.
the edge of the river. And from
So this
what-
is a gully in here, really,
It
because I'm
really
thinking, it's a
drops.
gully,
It
right?
really
It's a,
drops down,
Okay.
and, in talking to your director out there, when we were out on the site initially, I mean, they get a little bit of water that might just come up to the top of the bank, but it doesn't flood their site. So that's why we put these practices up above that,
But
because,
and it doesn't wash this,
no, this won't
away.
be, this will all be densely vegetated, and then, you know, the wood chip, and the wood chip can be, you know, augmented over time, you know, because they will decompose over time.
Right.
But the grass filter strip you wanna maintain is 3 to 4 inches thick, because what happens is, it comes as overland flow, the water is coming through the stems of the grass. If you let the grass get too tall, the water flow pushes the grass right over, and then you lose all the benefit of it.
Huh.
So you really want a 3 to 4 inch, you know, thickness of grass, height of grass, you know, to get the best results from the filter strip. So, you know, we're treating quite a bit of impervious cover on the site, you know, a lot better than, you know, what it is now.
Yeah, because there's really nothing,
know,
right? If
yeah.
everything just really, by the sheet flows
It
right
is.
bang into the Still River.
Oh, yeah, directly in there. So, you know, we're really treating all of the runoff, the impervious cover on this site.
Did you hear what, on 731, because these are sitting, you know, these are right on the river, just like they are at 731. Did you hear in 731, we were having, I hope I get this right, we were seeing all sorts of sediment. You know, these,
Now, which were
731, it's way up on the, it's on the north side of Brookfield. This was a
Oh,
Tony
Four
Lucera
Corners.
project, and
Oh, was that,
and this
yeah, I
is
did
like
the
5
review.
years ago,
Yeah, Artel did the engineering.
Yeah, and it was all, it wasn't wetlands, it was drainage from the road and from
yeah,
the
the
other side
DOT,
of the
yeah,
road, and so we
yeah.
built these, you know,
Bigger
big
ripraps.
drainage, and there's big, I don't know, they're 20 by 30 feet long ripraps. But we ended up with all the flooding, we ended up with sediment
From the river.
into that, and it took us a while to figure out, where's that coming from? Was it coming off the site?
Well,
Was
and
it
that's
coming
why
from the
one
river?
of the problems with, you know, in addition to water quality of the runoff, is the volume of runoff. Volume of runoff in streams, and the Still River is a good case in point, is a stream for a given rainfall amount will flow a certain height for a certain period of time. But with typical like detention basins where you're matching the peak rate, but you have this big bathtub you're draining, it's flowing at that nominal height for like 72 hours instead of 24 hours. The stream channel doesn't like that, so the stream channel can only do one thing. It can erode the banks and increase the size of its channel. And all of that, you know, banks becomes what we call bed load,
Yeah.
is carried down the river until it slows down or hits something where it settles out, and now you get sediment deltas. I have a project actually in Brookfield I did for Sean Hayden, the Lake Warmouth Task Force, on the river coming down into Lake Warmouth, and it comes down, makes a 90-degree turn, and it has chewed out the bank. And the center of the river past the turn, I mean, probably has 5 or 6 feet of sand in it, all from the erosion of one bank.
Huh.
You know, so volume is also a problem overall in the Still River. You know, this doesn't do much for volume except for the roof of the bioretention. But, you know, again, we were limited. DPW didn't want to lose any of their gravel areas because they have storage for equipment and all that. So, you know, a similar one I did with HVA was the Bethel DPW, and again, you know, they picked good sites because there's gravel on both of them. You know, but you know, with retrofits, you know, it's definitely a major improvement over what's there today.
So we're gonna need soil and erosion on this?
We have erosion controls.
Okay, this is, what is this,
There's-
it's filter,
there's-
it's fence,
There's
right? Silt
Filtrex
fence?
sock down here. I use Filtrex socks instead of, this is an 8-inch Filtrex sock, which is, you know, that tube sock.
Yeah,
with
it
the
is, and
post.
that didn't work out very well at on 731. They had trouble with those.
Well, I've
I
had-
don't know
I've had
all the
I've had
details.
extremely good luck
Okay,
with
well,
them.
we'll just keep an
Yeah,
eye on it, because I
yeah.
said
Well,
in
you gotta
731, they
yeah.
ended up with silt fence through the whole thing,
Yeah.
the river just was,
Well, the river,
just
you know, I
was
mean, river
wrecking
flow
that.
would probably pull these right out.
and I
We
think
do
they
have-
did.
Yeah, well, yeah, this
think
is
they
right, I
did.
mean, this is right at the edge of the river here. We also have one over here,
Okay.
you know, just when we're putting in the riprap, so there's, you know, also silt fence, there.
Okay,
The bioretention systems don't really need any because we're just digging a hole,
all right.
so, for them. But we also did, just the rest of the plans here. So, you know, we have all the, you know, details, you know, for them, but, you know, this is basically.
I'm
this
hoping they have a YouTube video that shows how these actually work.
They might on the website.
I'm gonna look,
Um,
because it's, I mean, I
Yeah.
think I'm grasping most of
Yeah.
it, but I'm telling you, I'm not gonna maybe grasp
Yeah.
every single
Yeah,
nano
this is
point of
an
it.
ADS water quality unit.
Whoop, whoop.
So this is how the bypass works. Here's the water coming in, here's the pipe that's going to the separator, and then here's my weir that, you know, all the initial flush of water every storm goes this way. When it fills up a certain height, it overtops this little concrete weir and then goes to the bypass system.
How much do these things go for, like for this size?
I don't-
Rough figures,
10, 15 grand.
okay,
I mean, separators are like 25 to 30.
Yeah.
You know, but they're already there.
right,
Um,
okay.
You know, we have the
So that's
soil
nothing,
media.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's nothing on a project, most
Yeah,
projects, that's
yeah.
nothing.
Yes, we have the soil media for the bioretention, we have the maintenance for the bioretention. They're planted with a New England wildlife mix from New
Okay.
England wetland plants. You know, again, pretty simple overall.
Is this something they're gonna try and do this year?
I think it depends on grant funding
Okay.
from them, but this is kind of a, you know, this is an existing conditions map
Yeah,
to
it's
show
all
you.
sheet flow into the
Yeah,
river.
Yeah, it's either two direct discharge points or
Yeah.
sheet flow. You know, in DPW garages, you got a zillion trucks.
Yep.
You know, and everything else, so.
Yeah,
um,
wait, I think that's mine.
Oh, yeah,
Don't
they're,
take
well,
that.
they're all yours. Yeah, I'm not moving, I was just moving
Give me that
aside.
back, give me that back,
You know,
don't take my
I wasn't-
stuff,
I wasn't stealing.
don't take my stuff,
So-
give me that back.
You know,
She
this
gets
unit-
nasty.
You know, this unit was tested by UNH, and they really, you know, they do well.
So you've installed these before,
Yeah,
or,
actually,
okay?
yeah.
Yeah, I thought you said that, all right,
So that's, you know, we have construction sequence for bioretention, you know, which again is pretty simple. You know, they're not complicated systems, you know, for that.
so let me just look
we
and
did-
see what the,
Yeah,
I'm looking for the maintenance plan.
There was maybe Mike or maybe, I guess Matt from HVA, when you filed the application, didn't do it. I can email.
I don't see it,
I can email you.
Can
I
you?
did a document that has all that in it.
so was it like yearly cleanouts, or?
Yeah, it's yearly inspections or biannual or twice a year inspections.
Do they have to get an
initially.
agent to do it, or can the town
Oh,
do
the
it? Do you
town
know?
can do it, the town can do it.
Okay,
So, yeah, I'll email that down, because I had a full document which also has all the pollutant removal calculations.
okay,
So I can email that to
all
staff.
right, so we need the maintenance
tomorrow.
plan.
That's all part of it, is we have the maintenance for, you know, all the structural stuff, and it's the manufacturer's maintenance plan.
Okay.
So that's, you know,
All right,
so it's gonna be, you know, it's a start for improving water quality. We also did the Princess Peace Church, up there on Junction Road. And, you know, actually, they're still working with the church to make sure everybody's on board with the church for doing this, but we have, I'm trying to think, how many bioretention cells? 1, 2, 3, I think 6 bioretention cells
yeah,
there.
because there's wetlands in the back,
There's
right?
Yeah,
In
the
the
river
back
comes
into
in
the
in
river,
like the
right.
southeast corner. But we're gonna be pretty much capturing all of their pavement through bioretention. What's interesting, there is an underground gallery system under part of the driveway, because we were digging one test pit. All of a sudden, I was like, I think that's concrete. And so he scraped some more, and I found one of the lids, and sure enough, it was a concrete gallery system. But all the water was going into it, and I think it's begun to silt up. But we're gonna be intercepting water before it gets to that system, you know, to treat it. Again, all beautiful sand up there,
Yeah,
you know, so.
that's the
but-
benefit of the, you know, if you can do it with swales and detention basins,
Yeah.
you don't have the maintenance, because we cannot keep track of maintenance plans, there's I
Yeah.
don't know, there's 300 of them, you know, in town, so if you can visually see them,
Well, that's one of the
right,
benefits of LID
instead of the,
practices.
you know, mechanics.
Yeah, underground is out of sight, out of mind.
Yep,
I mean, you know, the road I live on, which is relatively flat, I've been there 17 years. My catch basins have been cleaned once in 17 years. They're supposed to be inspected and cleaned at least every 2 years. Once they have done it.
yeah,
But I have, at the end of my driveway, I actually have a bioretention cell, and I cut a notch at the corner of my driveway.
Oh,
So the
yeah,
water
yeah.
coming down goes into the bioretention cell. When it gets more than 10 inches high, then it will bypass and go down the gutter line to a catch basin. But I really catch about 3,200 square feet of road, you know, on my property. And my road's relatively flat. I mean, the maximum grade's maybe 3%. They could have eliminated curb and catch basin on this road and done all swale, and would have been great. But the beauty of lid practices is, you know, if a bioretention cell begins to get clogged, you go in, you scrape off the top quarter-inch of dirt, scratch up the soil, and it's ready to go again.
Yeah,
You know, when underground stuff, if they don't get maintained, nobody knows.
nobody knows.
So, you know, I mean, it would have been nice if I could have eliminated some of the gravel areas and done bioretention cells. I would have done that much more so.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, we're living with the limitations the DPW gave us. So, but it is a significant
It
improvement.
looks like a
in water
big
quality,
improvement, yeah, big
as far as
improvement.
that goes. But I'll email
Cool,
you.
so good
the
for them,
full
bravo, if somebody over there
document,
needs a pat on the head, so they did a good
so.
job.
They're
Yeah.
pretty open to it.
Yeah.
You know, Bethel also was, actually, I just did a couple more for HVA. One is at a little mobile home park on Kenosha Avenue near the mall.
Mhm.
And surprisingly, one test hole in back that I dug, it was all sand. I mean, it's fill material, clearly, but it looks like it filled with really good sand. And another one right out by the road was also really good sand. That's native soil. And then there's the alternative education school on, off Locust Avenue near the hospital.
Yep.
And they wanted, again, they had 2 low spots on 2 corners of the parking. And again, I dug test holes, and most of the time when you dig them by hand, you can go down 30 inches maybe. I got down 48 inches because both of them were soft sands.
Wow,
So, you know, I really applaud HVA, you know, to slowly getting these projects out there, you know, to, you know, begin to address water quality.
great,
We gotta draw the line somewhere, so.
great.
So, but I will send
Absolutely.
the stuff down
Okay,
tomorrow.
so we need a
or
maintenance
tonight,
plan,
so,
other than that, I don't
yeah.
see anything that else we are gonna need, so.
no, Right,
Okay.
yep, that's all, I put a whole document together, so I thought Matt might have submitted that.
Not yet, didn't make its way into the blue folder.
Yeah, that's all right,
He may have submitted it, but it's not here yet.
Yeah, well, you know, well, Matt did it, he probably didn't think he had to, but, but we'll send it on over.
Okay, great, Steve, thank
Steve,
you
thank
very,
you.
very, very much.
Oh, you're welcome, have a good night.
All right, then I make a motion that we continue 93 Grays Bridge Road to our next regularly scheduled meeting.
I will second that.
Michael seconds that. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Now, Cassandra, a lot of that conversation, you can probably just distill into, you know, the applicant and the engineer discussed the multiple, you know, the multiple options for swales and retention basins. You can make that pretty straightforward. And a lot of his other conversations, you know, about the other projects,
Yep.
unneeded. Does that
Sounds
help?
I can do that.
Okay.
That's very helpful.
All right, let's see, what's next? Anybody here? Nobody's here, so let's go to
We skip
81,
Pocono.
81
Yeah.
Pocono.
Withdrawn.
So, it's withdrawn.
Yes,
We have an email from them that it's withdrawn?
yes, we do. An email saying it's withdrawn, so.
Okay,
We will see, I would not be surprised if you see it again, because they're trying to sort out with
Great.
CBA,
okay,
or see something.
okay, all right, so that's very important, and you said it's an email, right?
It's
And
in
that's in
the-
the folder?
It's in-
Okay, I believe it, okay, so, just wanna make sure it's very clear, right? And make sure the minutes say that the applicant provided an email and withdrew the application. All right, so that is that one. Okay, 172 Long Meadow Hill Road. This is the one where they owed us some more information, right? This is the one where they have, this is the second lot, sort of behind the original lot.
So we have a request from them to continue the application until May 13th.
That makes sense.
So, 'cause
Okay.
they were trying to get some of the information.
Yeah, they needed to, they were gonna take a look at two things. They were gonna take a look at, is there any way they could sort of like, open box culvert across the well, you were here, right? The entire wetland, you know, which would then, I think would be better for wetlands and not fill them. They were gonna look at that, and if they couldn't, they were gonna look at 4 times wetlands creation,
Mhm.
right?
So,
Okay.
you want a motion then, or I'll make
Yeah.
a motion to continue item W-24-17, 172 Long Meadow Hill Road until our next scheduled meeting.
Which is the 13th.
Just 13th.
Okay, Tom, you'll second that?
Second.
All right, Tom seconds. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. All right, now we get to 34 Old Bridge. Anybody here? All right, so this is new business. Application for a single-family home. so let's take a look at the application here. All right, so it's 2.68 acres. Disturbed wetland area is 0, disturbed watercourse is 0, disturbed upland review area is 0.38 acres. All right, so what do we got here? Did we talk to these guys at all?
I have not talked to them.
All right. Okay, so where are the wetlands? Oh, here they are.
There's 2 locations of wetlands on the property.
Oh, I see one. Let me just,
I don't know if it's easier, I highlighted.
I'm gonna highlight them on the map. All right, I see one that's sort of on the road at Old Bridge-ish.
And then,
Mhm.
almost directly across, the northerly side of the property.
Oh, over here.
Yes.
And it
Oh, there
crosses
it
the
is.
line, yeah. Oh, you got the small one, all right. Do we know what is on this property now? Are they clearing 2 wetlands for a lawn? Do we know that?
I believe they are.
Well, that I think is a challenge. To clear right to the wetlands with a lawn is a problem.
And I thought there was a limit of disturbance on here.
Well, let's look and see. Existing pipe, so we're looking for a disturbance line.
I'm trying to find it too, and
You're gonna have a tough time on that scale.
yeah,
Proposed septic, reserve, benchmark, general notes.
so here's limit of regulated activity is wide.
Hay bales, finished grading,
This appears to be it, the circular
what,
on this side.
what?
Let me just, regulated activity. Here, this RA. This
Oh, yeah,
circular.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the limit
there's-
of activity,
There,
at least on this side.
oh, the regulated activity, I think that's the upland review area, right? Is that, where's the scale
It
on
would
this
make
one?
sense to be.
Where's the scale?
they're
It seems like a
calling
big
it,
75 feet.
In the,
Where's the scale here?
in the legend, they're calling it
Oh, scale, 1 inch is 30 feet, so that
limit of
looks,
regulated activity.
it looks like a little bit more, but, I mean, if 1 inch is 30 feet, 60, 30, 60, so it's in the neighborhood,
Yeah,
and then it's over, where's this one?
you're looking for,
RA, here we go.
yeah, so that goes right through the house.
Yeah, which I think is, that's gonna be all right, but I think what I am not seeing is what's there now. And can we have them look at maintaining like 20 feet of whatever is existing? Split the difference, right, 30 feet?
30 feet.
Cause this is the well, right? So yeah, they should be able to get 30 feet. Can we get a limit of permanent disturbance line, 30 feet? Arcing 30 feet around these wetlands. That's what I'm seeing here. I mean, I don't think it's a good idea to run grass right down to the wetlands. Particularly in residential areas where, it's gonna be out of sight, can't see it anymore. At least on Federal Road, where I know we've done a couple of them, you can pay attention, and I'm a little disturbed that we did it, but we don't do it anymore, so very careful about that.
Yeah, not many people go down that road.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like a part of Brookfield, it's like I get down there and go, where am I? I mean, you're turning.
No one knows it's there.
It's like, am I turning left or right, or where am I? Sometimes can't even see the sun, because you're down in the valleys. So that's my concern here. And I think if they can provide us a permanent line of disturbance,
They're gonna have a hard
And we
time
might,
plowing along that
yeah, we
property.
might even look for some, even maybe, yeah, permanent line of, are there trees around here? Can they do this? Can they, number one, is it wooded?
Right now, that lot is wooded, I believe.
Yeah,
There-
okay.
There is a fair amount of
Yeah, because
wetlands
you
in
live
there.
in this general area,
I
right?
live right around the corner, yeah.
Ah,
I
okay.
drive by it every day.
Okay, yeah, so if there are trees, we wanna maintain the trees, in like a 30-foot,
So do you want us to do a limits of, have them put on the limits of
yeah,
clearing?
limits of disturbance,
Yep.
existing vegetation to
Yep.
remain. And where do the roof drains go to this from here? Is this a detention? Oh, that's the septic. Where do the roof drains go? Do you see where the roof drains go? Or the footing drains?
I might be missing it, but I'm not seeing,
Oh, not,
and they could just be dropping at the bottom of the house. But the footing
yeah,
drains,
but
I'm
they
not
should show
sure.
us, cause sometimes the people, send them into the wetlands, so that looks like the second question. Footing drains and roof leaders. Unless they're on the next, yeah, I only have 2 pages. I see septic tank, I see mantis,
Mm-hmm.
There's a Caltech, there's an underground stormwater management system.
where? Oh, in the front of the house.
Yep, in the front of the house.
Okay. All right, so. Is that what these things are? Can they just make sure,
Yeah, I can make sure.
just
that-
ask them, are we reading this correct? Are all the footing drains and all the roof drains going to the Coltech?
There also appears to be some riprap pads, so that makes me feel,
A silt pool for well spoil, what's that? Is that permanent? You see the little dark dot? Silt pool for well spoil. I know what well spoil is. Are they gonna keep it there? Because what's the topo on that? That's, I see 442. 442, 440, so it slides, it's kinda slides away, it looks like it slides away. 442, looks like it's sort of, 442, where's the, 442, where's the 440 line? There's the 44, how come the 440 line?
Just drop it off towards the right
438.
side.
I'm having trouble, when it gets into the house, I'll kinda lose it, I can see 438, and then almost like 438 intersects 440 in the house. Maybe they're changing things around. Well, that's the third question, what is this silt pool for well spoil? And other than that, I don't see anything else. Oh, wait. PVC footing drain outlet. Over on the left
Oh, I see it, yes.
side.
Mhm.
Is that the overflow? can't,
Footing drain outlet and
you see it? It's over on the, it's over, like I said, just north of like Wetlands flag 44. If you go straight up from 44 or 45, go up from Wetlands flag 45, it's right, there's two notes there. PVC footing drain, PVC roof drain outlet. But it's just, one of them's pointing to what looks like a pipe and the other one's pointing to just a line. But if, I mean, if they're over there, they're not in the wetlands area. 434, 432, 432, 434, so it looks like it's gonna slide this way and then it'll eventually slide into the wetlands, so I don't think that's a big concern. You see it, Michael? See these over
I
there?
was looking up something else, go ahead.
Yeah, these are
Oh.
two notes. You see them, Tom?
Yes,
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I know.
oh, that I saw.
Yeah, oh, I
Yeah.
was looking for them,
Yeah,
cause I
I
don't
know.
understand
Well,
what
no,
the
after you
Caltech
pointed
is.
it out, I
Yeah,
saw
I
it.
don't understand what the Caltech's for, if they got them going this way, but maybe it's the Caltech's for the drive, maybe? So then these are gonna sheet flow this
Mhm.
way, and that's fine, as long as we get this 30-foot buffer around the wetlands to,
Mhm.
that's the number, yep.
yeah, 30 feet, you guys all right with 30 feet? 30 feet?
Yes.
With
Yep.
existing vegetation to remain permanently.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, then I'll make a motion to continue 34 Old Bridge Road to our next regularly scheduled meeting with the understanding the land use office will contact the applicant and ask for some additional information about existing vegetation around the wetlands, permanent lines of disturbance. What was the other one?
Information on what that.
Oh, what's the silt, yeah.
Silt
what's the-
pool
silt-
for
Yeah,
soil.
silt pool for wetland spoil, what is that? Second?
Oh, I'll second it.
Okay, Michael seconds that, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries unanimous. Okay, now we have a little bit of discussion into correspondence. We got an email from,
CNAP.
let me get it because it's in our package. I got an email from, who's it from? Courtney Knapp, who was the secretary to the Brookfield Planning Commission. And apparently they are updating the plan of development, which is a very good idea. And they make note that it was last updated and adopted in March of 2016. And it says the Planning Commission will be leading a process to update the town's POCD over the next year and a half. As a preliminary step, we are assessing the completion of the goals and strategies that were articulated in the current plan. For reference, the plan can be downloaded. And in the 2016 plan, the Wetlands Commission was identified as the implementer lead for the following items. Consider requirements for green infrastructure techniques to treat stormwater runoff for new residential projects adjacent to wetlands and watercourses throughout the town. So, two parts. I don't remember that far back in 2016 at all, because I was on the commission then, and I do not remember any of this, but it's certainly something that we think about, because we talked about it just on the most recent plan. So I'm writing hope that you can provide an update about the completion of each of these items, along with any context or details that you might want to provide on their status or progress. Your response can be as simple as stating that the task is completed, in progress, or yet to be started. But any other information you want to provide would be most helpful. I can understand that.
So they do, it's a plural about items, but there seems to be one item.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it was just a form.
No, I understand.
Not
I was
certainly
just
made-
wondering if I
yeah,
missed something.
I think it's just one.
Yeah, and so requirements for green infrastructure techniques to treat stormwater. And that always bothers me a little bit, this concept. I know what green infrastructure is, but there really isn't a definition of green, or, I mean, it's such a broad statement. Basically, isn't this what we do?
Well, I think we do.
Yeah?
I think we try very hard to do that with, well, again, just even this, the discussions that we had recently about swales and where does this go and where does that go, and the number of times we said we can't just have riprap dumping into the, you know, into the wetlands, and can we have rain gardens? So I think, you know, are we perfect at it?
I think
don't
they're
know.
asked-
I don't think anybody's perfect at anything.
I think they're asking, is there, because the term regulation, do we want to recommend, do we feel we should
Where do you see
recommend?
regulation?
Requirements,
Okay,
excuse me, consider
Okay.
requirements for green infrastructure, for new residential products. Should we be adding new requirements?
I don't wanna go down that path again. It looks like we can't add anything.
I know,
Yeah.
we tried.
We tried. We got you know, we're advised that it was,
Wa-
we can't, the state
Was
doesn't
that
allow us.
a legitimate response? They
Yeah, I
said,
mean,
We
we
tried.
could do something like, I mean, I think it could go something like this. I mean, I think, you know, the commission has for many, something like this, maybe this isn't perfect, that the commission has, a long history of evaluating residential projects and residential and commercial projects, thank you very much, right? To enable, or to implement, practices consistent with the Connecticut 2004 stormwater management techniques. And this is an element that the commission considers on every application that it sees. These include underground detention, bioswales, considerations for considerations for, I'm trying, what's the right word for, stormwater flows directly into rivers, usually have engineering reviews to meet the Connecticut's, you know, stormwater management techniques. So, period. So the commission, you know, the commission endeavors to complete, you know, these green initiatives for every project that it reviews.
I like that.
Do you? What do you
I was
think?
listening.
I'd take out the knows, but aside from that, I like that.
So, you know, and maybe the last sentence would be, you know, the commission, I wanna say we're always open to new tech, it's always seeking, you know, best available practices for stormwater management into wetlands and water courses. Does that make any sense?
Well, what we could do is, if you would like, I could write up pretty much what you say
Yeah.
and then send it to you.
Okay.
Do we want to use this opportunity to try and get in what we failed to do last year with increasing?
I
I
don't know
mean,
if
we
this
do
is
have
the- I
a
don't know if
different
this
board
is
of
the-
selectmen.
I don't know if this is the way to do that. I mean, I think what we heard is that we were limited by the state of Connecticut. You know, we weren't being limited by the town, we were being limited by the state.
And her purview for this, because I also staff the planning commission, so I'm at the POCD meetings too, so is based off of, in their book, there really is a list that goes through all their different initiatives that the POCD had. She went through and she identified which commission or which board was responsible
Yeah.
for each of them. That was actually the only one, that Inland Wetlands Commission. So although there were practices that you tried to do, the only thing that POCD's realm is looking at currently, because they're just looking to see if you fulfilled it, is that one initiative.
Yeah, and zoning picks up on a lot of that too, because zoning has responsibility for stormwater management. You know, so they review that as well. They don't probably, I know they look at it very carefully. They may not look at it you know,
The same way.
they look at it for the whole thing, whereas we just look at it, you know, as it might affect a nearby watercourse or wetland. So they look at the whole Manila. So I think that works. I mean, I think we do try, that's like one of the number one things we look at on every single project. You know, and I look back, even the recent ones where we had, you know, the property over at, you know, Candlewood Shores where we had them, you know, build a rain garden, you know, and we've always talked about, you know, let's not just have riprap, let's have rain gardens, and let's, you know, try and get the water there, and it just makes it easier, cause maintaining riprap is a nuisance. So.
I could be happy to try to take what you said and write it up, I can send it to you.
Shoot it to me and then we can send it to them, so, cause they wanted it, when did they want it?
Couple
Yesterday.
days, no, May 1st, I thought it was.
May
Yeah.
1st.
They are
First.
aware that a lot of the commissions weren't meeting
Yeah.
until after their deadline.
Yeah, and then maybe just, you know, if, please contact us please contact us again if you'd like more information, because every single one of the commissioners, you know, feels that this is a very important aspect of our
Green
review
efforts.
review process? How about something like that?
I will give it a go, I will
Since
send
with
it
the-
your
with
way
all-
for a final
with all-
approval.
Sincerely.
And then we can kinda go from there, if
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
okay.
I mean, if, I assume, I said, so we can, if you write that up, we can have it on our 8th, 13th meeting and then send it to them, you know, or if you wanna send them a draft, tell them we're just waiting for final approval or something like that.
Either that, or if the commission wants to give you the final
You
okay.
can give me the okay,
Of
I'll
course.
do it, unless you wanna do it, or do you wanna
Or
do it? You can do it, doesn't matter
I
who
can do
does
it.
it, doesn't have
And
to
then
be
we
me.
could probably get it sooner.
You could do it. Be good for you. We'll copy all three of us, and then I'll take the responsibility to say, okey-doke.
Okay.
Alrighty, we're almost there, so I think the only thing, let me just double check, so correspondence, that's that. God, on to page 3, the previous minutes.
Christine, you write these, so if there's anything, that she says that you're, confused about, I don't have the whatever for it.
What's that, say that again.
Christine wrote these minutes.
Oh, yeah,
So,
that's, yeah, okay, that's fine, you're,
if you have any questions, I don't know the.
yeah, that's okay. The only one that jumped out at me is kind of odd wording. Again, I know she's having to listen to this, you know, on the tape. It's line 52 to like 54. It says S. Fox stated to explain that the commission, stated to explain the commission was disappointed that they, and really, I can only really speak for myself, right? Unless Michael and now Tom or Bob chirped up, I can only really speak for myself. You know, was disappointed that we were on, and I think you can write that better. You know,
Yes.
maybe something like, S. Fox, you know,
Explained.
noted, you know, that, the commission was expecting an update today and is disappointed that they did not receive any input from,
Yeah, just to correct the English, it should either be
yeah, you know,
as
from
Fox
the
stated
applicant.
or
Yeah,
explained.
I would
but
just say,
not
look,
both.
just stated, we did not, S. Fox noted, we did not,
Noted, perfect.
yeah, noted that that the commission had expected an update on the, you know, on the plan, and that someone would be at the meeting to explain it and was disappointed, and then just say something along the lines that the commission agreed to have the wetlands enforcement officer contact the applicant, which apparently from that, we now got the plan-ish. We have a plan, we don't have an application. And we don't have there's still some missing information, but at least we've made progress. I think you just simplify that sentence. And other than that, I didn't note anything else. So with that, I will make a motion to approve the minutes with the corrections to be made in lines 52 to 54 as submitted.
I will second that.
Okay, any more discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. All right, and last, informal discussion. Okay, without that, you're gonna make, Tom, you're gonna make your first motion.
Motion to adjourn?
That'll work.
Michael seconds, all
I
those
do.
in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?